Remember the era of video games where like 60% of those on the shelves were based on movies and TV shows? I do. Back in those days, games with only half a real game's budget would be made with a fourth of its development time, then thrown onto store shelves for dumb kids to waste their money on. Oh hey, Sporned Bloob. Yeah, I was a fool and loved getting these, but hey, there's a reason I bring this up. That. Side note, I don't understand why people act like you didn't see the thumbnail or title of a video. That's the whole reason you clicked on it. Monster House, the movie that has simultaneously aged poorly and amazingly. I loved this when I was younger, when I could get over being scared by it. Yeah, however old I was, me was terrified of this movie, but it was mostly the starting it. Once I got into it, I loved it. The amazing design of the house and how it all works, the murder of people that they got away with by having a post-credit scene, the awkward kiss, it's great. But now, we should move on to the actual thing we're here to talk about, the tie-in game. Most of this video will involve the console version, which is what I grew up with. But don't worry, for the insert a fake number of sales, I couldn't find it. We'll talk about the GBA and DS versions as well. But to start it off, we'll go into the PS2/GameCube version that I had. Firstly, I gotta say, this game looks pretty good for a 2006 tie-in game. The environment looks properly spooky and dusty. The place looks like a massive mansion and only inhabited by one sad, lonely man. It really does. What's also great is how everything is just a bit off. Sure, the kitchen is well kept, except for these stairs and random pipes bursting through the ground. Where did this door go? What's up with the attic? What is even going on? The music, while not amazing, is quite atmospheric. I particularly like the danger music. And the ambiance is stellar. Hearing distant rumblings of the house and creaks and cracks is so cool. Another positive, the enemy design. Normal household things like chairs, lamps, wall lamps, TVs. Why does this house have so many chairs? Only one person ever lived here, and was he really expecting guests? It's great. Occasionally, even a tree will smash through a window and try and grab you, leading to a quick time event or commit die. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about gameplay. Think remake level design and combat with RE4's puzzles, events, and POV. Each of the three brats have a different water gun. DJ has a single-shot rifle, then a burst rifle, then a water hose. Jenny gets a pistol that just shoots faster, and Chowder gets a shotgun, then later on an attachment that doubles the spread. You might think that since this is Resident Evil for babies, they might restrict ammo, like the real games, making you only able to refill ammo at sinks and the like, but with a collectible item like a water bottle to act as ammo when you have no other option? Nope. Mash that B button and you'll fill to full. Infinitely. You literally cannot run out of ammo. You also have a melee attack to conserve ammo, and a sidearm. DJ has a camera which stuns most enemies and makes it so melee hits one shot. Jenny has a long-range slingshot which doesn't actually damage fire enemies for obvious reasons, and is also used to break a few keypads. Lamau just use a knife, dum-dum. And Chowder just gets water balloons, making a nice, albeit limited, way to deal AoE damage. Finally, Z rotates you 180 degrees, L ducks, and dodges if you press it while moving the stick in a direction, complete with adorable quotes.
That was too close.
But enough brass tacks, whatever that means. We got a plot, we got some weapons, and an alarming amount of monkeys. Let's do this. We're pooped out into the main house. DJ and Chowder do absolutely nothing to help Jenny, and Chowder gets bored too. So we're into the game. There's the tongue that we can make dance. A murder hole, and a bunch of doors we can't go through. Well, that's rude and inefficient. Also, since the house can block us off, doesn't that mean it's awake and knows we're here? I mean, I don't exactly lock sections off to germs in my body when I'm asleep. We nab the key under the stairs, go to the kitchen, and get our first point of interest. A window is open over a soda, so being a stupid 12-year-old, we grab it and wake the house up, and it sends a single chair at us. It gives up and assumes we died, so in revenge, we steal this monkey to trade for concept art later. Also, make sure to break boxes. While sometimes you get coins, later, you can also get sidearm ammo and health. Going through some more rooms, we end up in a bathroom. That's some good plumbing. This bathroom is a safe area, automatically saving our progress and acting as a rest spot. My only complaint is that, with one exception, all of these look the same, so it might be confusing when you return, but whatever. We touch a door and warp to Jenny. Her section is literally just forward, X, forward, right 90 degrees, R, forward, R, X, forward, R, right 90 degrees, forward, X, forward, right 90 degrees, forward, X, hold Y, release Y, forward, X. Finished! Now Jenny can die a horrible, painful death scared and alone away from her friends and family. Chowder's broken his light somehow, and now has to go get a new one. After suffering abuse and breaking some chairs, we grab a bulb and begin retreading DJ zones. Took 2 chapters to do that, not even surprised. At least they introduced new enemies in the wall lamps. Nerd. After a battle royale in the kitchen. I love these guys. Chowder decided to break his spine instead of getting bored again. Genius. DJ stops picking his nose outside that door and heads through. After yoinking an attachment that somehow fits and works with our water gun, then head down this hallway so tree! This is our first encounter with these tree attacks. Press the button on the screen, live. Press it wrong or too late, die. Although there is a failsafe sometimes where the character grabs onto the frame and you need to mash a button to break free. Then in the next room we fight this red chair, which cannot die until we break this piano. What's weird is that this is the only encounter like this. What we learned is that when we spy a red chair, find the object keeping it alive and ending it, but the rest of the colored chairs just get back up after we kill them, turning into normal brown chairs and then dying normally. Weird. We go back and open the door going into this library. We need to find a book that fits into the slot and are attacked by flying bugs. Now we could go straight and get the book to progress, or we could go this way for monkey. Also, there's spotlights, which just means that whenever it sees you, nearby chairs go nuts. I ignore all of them and just rush through. Grabbing a glowing yellow book, we go back and oh come on DJ, you didn't even make it fit the slot. So does that mean that any book could have fit the bill? Whatever. We book it past these losers and find ourselves in the stomach. See? There's the car. We get a radio and can now hit it up on the D-pad to call Skull. Skull, help! We got eaten by the house! Call 911, call the military! Help!
Alone against the hordes of evil. It's not as easy as it sounds.
He's not much help. Now we're in the basement, and... how? Now we get to turn on these washing machines to knock down this box, and it's so nice that these floating lines tell us where to push the box. Every so often, enemies will drop, including the new guys, who I think are like furnaces or something, which blow out a bunch of smoke. They suck. Once we get the knob and teleport, we open it and move forth. We get the most useless cutscene in the game, and for some reason don't attack the furnace, the whole point of being here. Nab the key, go ahead, forget to go back, grab the hook, back down the hall, monkey, yoink the ladder, and we're done. Now we're upstairs, and can... as well as get kidnapped by a door. Nab the chest monkey, and then go into this crazy room. How? Also, you may notice the game from here on out look different, and button prompts change. This is because I had to swap from GCN to the PS2 because, for some reason, this transition screen could not work and would always crash, not just the game, but the entire emulator itself. There are a few differences I could tell, though none of them are gameplay related. The game looks different, as you can tell by this hall. Also, there was this weird audio bug if I skipped cutscenes. Finally, this version just had funky audio all around. Music cutting when trees appear. It's weird. This room is easy as long as you stand in the light, punch monsters, skillfully hold L1, and then ignore the light once all the throwables are done. Head through this door and grab the key, casually break the laws of physics, and then leave. We found Jenny! Wait, no we didn't. Go through the same room thrice, rotating somehow. DJ quips, and then Jenny bails. Fair, Jenny. You go, girl. Jenny epic dodges and then kills the TV. You'll have to believe me on that part because I paused before the TV cutscene ended and resumed recording after I had killed it. Sorry. That's not the only garbage Jenny has to deal with, because we also have to fight this thing, which still scares me to this day. Past me was right to be terrified of this game. Dodge the zappy, put out the candles, duck ever so often, Leon Scott your way through the final bit, and... Didn't know shadows could fly, but okay.
The bigger they are, the harder it is to make them fall.
Marvel joke here. Come to think of it, where did the pipes from this cutscene go? That wasn't there earlier. Reflect upon how sucky modern art is, kill a lamp, just a usual Saturday night, or Thursday, whichever year this movie takes place in. We get an upgrade, fight another boss. Jeez, Jenny got like the worst hand, man. At least we have Monkey. Jenny gets stuck again, and so big, strong, manly man Alpha DJ's gotta save her. DJ shows up in the TV room, and after clearing some enemies and getting an upgrade, turning us into an actual hose, DJ yoinks the key, and as punishment, gets yoinked himself. Jenny gives up waiting and starts girl bossing, having already engaged in gatekeeping and gaslighting. Oh, now you open. Alright. Hose down a wheel to send a train through a poor clown's knee, Skyrim joke here, and leave that place ASAP. Yo, you remember that boss from earlier? Here's two. Monkey, gear, then head down. Wait, isn't this the same dumbwaiter from the kitchen in the attic? Where's Jenny popping out?
My head feels like I just took a math class.
Relatable. Kill a TV and then dodge a rock tree. That makes sense. Side note, I like that the floor spiders, while their behavior is the same, they're now made of tree stuff instead of floor stuff. That's neat attention to detail. Also, Chowder's pants have got to be soaked. Wreck some scrubs, upgrade gun, and then fight the most annoying enemy in this game. Pipes. They come down from the sky and try to yoink you. They also spit smoke at you, can melee, and sometimes Chowder would just walk in plates and let himself get nommed. This is the bathroom I said was different. Chowder battles two TVs before Battle Royale and leaving, dodging the pipes in a pipe. I actually get yoinked here as I was fighting a dude, hit X to fire, and then stepped into this tree range at the same time. Thus, the X counted as the button press, and I didn't avoid the tree, getting dragged into the Shadow Realm. F in the chat for Chowder Boys, so we send in Chadward to complete the job. He succeeds where the past one failed, and then battles two pipes. Dunk on them, and then moves on to the stairs. Jenny arrives in a DJ zone and dodges a wall tree and destroys two TVs, while also getting a monkey at the same time. Go Jenny! She also almost dies because I got surrounded by like 10 spiders in a small entryway while a stove took free shots at me. But she lives and meets up with DJ. Wait, weren't you dragged upwards? Among Us joke here. Chadward continues to rule, even dealing with more of this room spinny stuff that DJ dealt with. Now I'm at a shooting gallery, skipping past the toy basement segment. Give ya 3 guesses why. I play a shooting gallery, lost the footage because I'm dumb, and begin rebuilding a clown. Nab's other eye in by far the creepiest room in the game. I mean, look at this crap. Shooting gallery, get the nose, and regroup with the others. Jenny takes a tongue I guess she had, and then we get plotted at. Not gonna lie, I kinda like this art style they're going for. They make it to the front, it's uninhibited, and then get sucked after like 2 seconds. Good spatial awareness, guys. DJ makes people mad with his hose as we begin the Great Escape. I'm skipping a lot of rooms, by the way, as nothing much happens outside of enemies to fight through. We dodge a pipe, Jenny proves she's a boss once again. Seriously, all the hardest parts were Jenny's segments outside of the Twin Pipes boss. Also, Jenny's segment is the segment Shadow went through, just drained, and I like that attention to detail. Dodge the pipe, wreck a TV, the huge. Jenny, my girl, up your reaction time. Chadward nearly dies because some enemies spawn behind me, but not yet! I said nearly. He lives. Skill difference, buddy. With no way to reach the monkey, we trek on before entering a door. Jenny returns here, kicks some more butt, and fights even more TVs. We enter the master bedroom and then take the door leading to the foyer. At least, I think this is a foyer. Get some new tricks, buddy. Chatterer, like an actual idiot, traps himself in the corner twice, the second time being even stupider since he can just go through this door. But no, he dies, and then Chatterer has to pick up the slack. Chatterer is amazing, clears this part and the rest of his segment easily. DJ has to deal with some hallway nonsense, and just an absolute ton of goons. These two lamps almost killed me, but then I snapped a photo of them and ran past. This would turn out to be a mistake, as I ended up blocking myself in a one-way room with a red lamp in the way. And no matter what I did, be it take a photo first or just endlessly shoot him, I could not kill him. Unlike normal lamps, red lamps I'm pretty sure are immune to damage except when their lamp thing is open. I eventually just dodge past, which works, but then I die by... nothing? Seriously, what killed me? Can they damage you literally just by touching their head? Whack. I redo the dumb hallway, leave, then all back in the main hallway. Jenny forces the house to vomit them up, not by shooting it, but by jumping onto it and hanging on. Jenny's the best, man. Breaking free from the sea of wood, the house gets mad and then chases us, so we gotta run away. Now we're playing Sonic 2, but each character jumps with a specific button, which is actually better than RE4 since you at least know what button to press. Krauser! Jenny is mapped to the square button, AJ X, and Chatterer's circle. You'll see it pop up and then you either hit it, swerving or jumping out of the way, or you won't. That's not instant death, as each character has a second chance when they're just barely in front of the house. Not close enough to be eaten, but close enough to be scared. Every so often, a cutscene will play and we either succeed in our button press or die a horrible painful death. Like, actually. Car yeeted at kids? They ain't surviving that. Launching a manhole cover with Jenny on it? Yeah, she's dead. Kaput. Surviving each cutscene acts as a checkpoint, and even then, the segment isn't too long, so it never gets too annoying. Also, why are there only 3 segments, with either everyone dying or just Jenny at the end? There could be a segment where AJ runs face first into a dumpster and then gets crushed, or Chedward fails to dodge the tongue, getting yoinked right back in. Come on. Ignoring my strange irritation at the lack of child murder, we skillfully press 3 buttons and head to the drained lake for the final boss fight. So just like in the movie, in this segment, you get to drive a backhoe and fight the house. Also, this whip.
Hey, house. I'm gonna renovate you.
Not half bad, Chidwer. This segment is pretty simple. Move back and forth to avoid getting punched, and then hit X to smash the scooper right into its face. The house has 3 attacks. Slide to the left, right, and then smack the other direction, dig into the ground to grab your scooper, or my personal favorite, the punch. It's not that effective against us, but if we're close to it, we'll enter a cutscene where we can knock it off balance, stunning it. Then you're free to absolutely wail on this piece of brick and mortar. You even deal more damage than normal. Look at this damage. I'm not playing the clip. Punch constants, press 2 buttons skillfully to kill it, see the reason why Nepercracker wasn't in this game, and then roll credits with 28 out of 32 monkeys saved. Nice. Hey, sad Castlevania fans. I understand. Your devs hate you. Your series has been abandoned for 8 years. But worry not. Monster House has your back. In the game, there's a little minigame called Thou Art Dead. The whole reason we collected tokens throughout the minigame. The game plays like your typical Castlevania game. Funky jump and all. You got your single hit enemies, stronger variants that add in a projectile, tough guys, all that. All while... what's this dude's name? Byman Selmont it is. He may not have the range other clan members have, but what he does have is this sick dash slice. Doesn't give you iframes, so you better kill whatever you hit though. There are 6 levels: forest, cemetery, house, ice cave, lava, and dragon. Now, once you beat level 6 however, the game Princess and Another Castle you makes you do it again. But this time, all enemies are faster and have +1 HP. This is an issue with the flying enemies because they love to spam them. Love to spam them. They'll fill a screen with them because they only take 1 hit now. What's the issue? When now they don't. I've never beaten the game because I've never been able to beat Thou Art Dead. Now I'm salty. But since that's everything on the console, why don't we move to handheld? We'll do GBA first since I feel like it, Kay? Very important side note. So something weird about this GBA game is that the shadows and light sources kind of flash for quite some time. At this time of the video, it stops, as I found a way to change the frame skip, so now they just look weird. And when hit, characters just vanish for a few seconds. Just a note, so you may want to skip ahead if you're epileptic or whatever. Now we're on the Nintendo Great Barrier Reef with Monster House GBA. After explaining the basic plot, the front yard shrinks and the kids get yoinked into the house. No cop car in sight. We're in the... This doesn't look like the console game. Or the movie. What? Gameplay is, and I can't believe this, a Zelda clone, complete with picking up and throwing pots for stuff. Interestingly enough, this game has the three together at all times, so you can swap between them at will. They each, once again, have unique guns, amount of health, all that stuff. Let's just get into the meat of the game. For one thing, this game has a mechanic I wish was in the console game, that being limited ammo and needing to either break pots or use up a water bottle item to refill your ammo. There are two types of fire, a single shot or the super shots that use up their ammo. L swaps characters, R locks your orientation, opens doors, picks up objects, and slides objects. A uses the item you have equipped to each kid, and B fires. Once inside the house, we head left and find that when we were getting yeeted into the house, we somehow dropped our walkie-talkies into this box with a pot. It breaks, and the house gets angry. Can I just say I love these faces? They're the best. Skull, unlike the console game, actually offers helpful advice. We find a bathroom and start planning what to do. Skull gives actually a pretty good reason for bathrooms being safe rooms in this and the console game, and tells us we need to find the blueprints. We do. Heading south, also finding a chocolate that we store and can use later to heal us. The basement is too dark for these wimps, so we gotta backtrack for the flashlight. We do. In comes our first example of the game not really making sense. We're blocked off from making it back to the basement, as one door is a one-way, and the north door is blocked somehow. I spent a long time wondering if I had made a mistake, even resetting twice just to see if I missed something, or the game expected me to do something I didn't, but then I discovered it. See this door? It's blocked off by wooden pallets. Your water guns can break through the wood. Why not make it something more recognizable as weak to water, like fire or goop? Or just put a sign nearby saying that the wood is moldy and any more water might break it. No one would think to squirt it with water unless they either had a guide, already played before, or literally were just trying anything and everything. I thought that I needed an item before I could get through that, but no. Down in the basement, we fumble around in the dark and just generally suffer. The enemies are not all too fun to fight for several reasons. Floor spiders, who look more spider than floor, oftentimes spawn so late that you walk on top of them, taking unavoidable damage. Plus, since the characters and enemies move at about the same speed, you'll need to either dash away quickly or take even more damage. Chairs take a lot of damage and don't get knocked back much, so damage is quite common. Lamps literally never take damage unless they're attacking, and TVs launch wide and fast lightning attacks. And since your bullets don't travel all too far, you'll need to be close, leaving you with a low time frame to dodge. Also, we get introduced to each character's ability. Jenny can be sus, DJ can climb walls, and Chowder pushes things. However, unlike the other two, pushable objects have no indicators that they can be used, which sucks. We find a brass key to open brass doors and decide to head up to the upper levels. Also, no, the foyer did not have 3 floors to it. It had 2, literally unplayable 0 out of 10. While wandering about, Chowder gets yoinked by slinkies and we need to get to the attic. To do so, we need to attack this wall I didn't notice and head even higher. Up here, we find Jenny's slingshot and now have to find tiny mirrors to break open paths, and this is also the time I quit. Since no matter what I broke, no matter where I look, I couldn't find any marbles. I found like 2, and when puzzles require a limited item, you'd expect there to be a guaranteed item nearby, in a pot or something, or maybe even an enemy. But I found that was not the case. I didn't feel like running around breaking a batch of million pots hoping for a marble, so I just shut the game off. Chowder stayed captured forever, and Jenny and DJ, I don't know, played twiddly things, whatever kids did in the 80s. The DS version. Let's be real, we all knew this was going to be the worst. The GBA and console require some effort in order to make games for them, but the DS version, you can just crap out whatever and BAM! Sales. The DS was not a console known for quality titles outside Nintendo-made games, and even some of those were lesser quality for one reason or another. So let's just play. Jeez man, what'd I do to you? So we start a save file, pick hard, cause I ain't no chump, and meet the demons that we'll play as. Seriously, the boy's hair is all messed up, DJ's puckering up with that endgame kiss, the more I look at Chowder, the more I regret the life decisions that led me to this point, and Jenny probably looks the best, but that's not saying much. Also, the water gun's colors are wrong, DJ got that Jolene drip, Chowder made the brave decision to replace his right arm with a penguin flipper, and Jenny must have awakened Kiss, since she somehow duplicated her water gun. Also, why choose these screenshots for the character select screen? Not even from the same scene! What's up with that? There is so much wrong with this screen, I considered shutting the game off and pretending I never heard of the DS port. But no, I gotta play it. So the group starts the game in the house, and after some quality dialogue, we pick a room, pick DJ, I guess, and where do I even begin? So for starters, we're top down again, but this time we aim using the touchscreen. Okay, so it's a twin stick shooter. Cool. Let's compare it to some of my favorite levels like this, the top down levels in Contra 3. These levels are fast paced, and you've got a clear objective: destroy all the bunkers. Your shots either go out forever or clearly show their range, like the laser and rockets. Monster House, on the other hand, is painfully slow, even without the slowdown. There's no number saying what wave out of what you're on, so you never quite know when's the best time for something. Should I conserve the shield power up to tank enemies, or should I save it for a later, harder wave? How much longer is this going to last? Because I might be able to tank an attack and then wait for a heal to spawn. But if I'm on the last wave, I should probably be more careful. Plus, there are several moments where you're not doing anything. Contra 3 is always throwing things at you. Some would say that's a bad thing, but it doesn't bother me much. It keeps you on your toes. Monster House not only doesn't have fast enemies, they don't spawn fast. It's a drag regardless of what's happening. Also, nothing's blocking your view in Contra, but there sure is in Monster House. There are some cool things in the designs, like seeing in between rooms, the outside of the house, and then you see a plate flying through a door to attack you, and you just kind of stop looking for positives. In other mechanics, you reload by taking your stylus and moving it up and down to quote-unquote pump your water gun. Also, I think there's a mechanic where depending on where you leave the dial, you'll attack faster or farther. I don't know. One mechanic unique to this game is permadeath, so you know how I'm testing it. Dying leads to no special animation and just booting you back to the character select screen, but now they're X'd out. Oh man, do we need to complete a special mission only available every so often to free our captured friends? Nah, they just respawn once you beat the level. I mean, they only got 1 health, so ironically they'll probably die again, but at least the house didn't kill them? Nah, just play the next chapter of someone else and they'll be fine. I should remind you, I'm playing on hard. As you progress through the house, you'll find toys that the house ate, and you need to collect them. Why? I don't know. The game says that they unlock doors, which A, don't even do that, as picking them up just picks them up, and B, I don't know, maybe there might be a different item they could have used in order to open doors.
Hey, what's this?
No, toys are arbitrarily used to unlock certain rooms of the house.
What's that? Trying to get into the next stage? Ah! I haven't gotten Christmas presents for the last 45 years, and somebody needs to make that up!
There's also some power-ups. Speed up, which is useless, screen clear, the best, health pickup, shield, spread shot, and ghost gun. Huh. Murder. The story it tries to tell in this game is muddled, and I think this is implying that they got eaten during the first encounter with Jenny, as Jenny's constantly telling them she's a troop leader and stuff. However, we do actually meet some of the people eaten earlier in the film, like the cops who almost look human, and we also see Bo. There is no God. Other baddies you'll encounter in this version are much the same as others, though there are some unique ones. Books, chairs, though literally only red ones, and they don't even get up after death. Lamps that shoot you from farther away than your weapon reaches, and since they're often in pairs, removes most blind spots. Hat racks that throw 6 identical copies of the same green hat despite only having 1 on them. Clocks that explode into giant needles if you don't kill them in time. Doesn't this game sound fun? Heck, the only level I thought was kind of cool was this conveyor belt level, where your only objective is to get to the end of the belt. It was kind of neat, especially when you try to think of some strategies. Should I chill by the start and wait for the enemies to come to me? Or should I charge forth? I wonder if I can damage boost through. So we continue going through the game, and eventually we come across the first boss in this game, the Uvula. Yeah, already. Don't worry, the line was preserved. After shooting the Uvula once, it opens the floor, which is a one-shot kill, and summons enemies. Here's a fun fact about me. I hate one-shot kills. They're unfun and feel cheap. This is no different, as damaging the creature causes it to increase how fast it opens up. And if it chooses to open up to the max while you're anywhere near the center on the last quarter of its health, you know, to confirm your hits and land the most using chowder, bye-bye. Also, the game doesn't save your progress in either waves or enemy health, so yeah, that's fun. After kicking its butt and walking into this pile of boxes, we don't get barfed? No, apparently we get swallowed into the stomach rather than... Okay, no, not only does this not make sense as the uvula scene was the last scene both in the movie and the console game, but I am not playing any further. No more. I'm done. No basement levels. These 3 homunculi were yeeted into the basement, never to be seen again, and that is now my headcanon. So, that was a wild ride. The console game was a pretty alright Resident Evil clone, the GBA was a confusing, sometimes cheap Zelda clone, and the DS was Contra Road Corpse, but somehow worse, because at least that game had flashy animations and swear words. Do I think the best one, the console one, just to be clear, deserves to be placed alongside Battle for Bikini Bottom, GoldenEye 007, and Spider-Man 2 as some of the best licensed games of all time? What? No, not even close. But I do think that it's not bad, no. It's never frustrating and is never offensive, so I definitely say it's like a 7 out of 10 if I did those. The GBA is nothing special, and I'd imagine it'd be fine with a guide, but man, do I not want to do that. Also, the DS1 is just blatantly bad, no idea why they thought they should release that. Terrible. Thanks for watching my blatant nostalgia trip, and I hope you enjoyed this. I've got some other projects in the works, so drop a sub if you want to be notified when I do that. See you next time, nerds!